Hello everyone. So this is the 1.11 version of world generation infinite terrain system, and here I have added infinite AI navigation. So let me show you what happens. So basically I have enabled AI navigations and NPCs with navigation. AI controlled NPCs can navigate in the world no matter where in this infinite terrain. Now let me show the demonstration. So here, if I play the game, and now if I enable show navigation and let me move somewhere. So yeah, see, now you see this nav mesh. This is generated around the characters who are spawned in the world. So here you see an NPC. So this is they actually using the nav mesh to find their path. They're just randomly moving around in reachable points, but they're actually using the navigation. So the navigation is working in the world. So now let me move fast to some other place in the world. So see, now here also there is another NPC that is navigating in the world. So it is working. Now if I disable show navigation, you can see the character over there. So yeah, now let me explain how to set that up in your own project. So yeah, this is like an explanation on how normally the Unreal Engine 5 navigation system works. Usually you have to place a NavMeshBoundsVolume and then bake the NavMesh and then AI navigates. But in our case here we have infinite terrain, so we can't possibly have a infinite NavMesh, and we can't afford to pre-bake it. And also we can't directly use navigation invokers as well, because we have to have a NavMeshBoundsVolume to work that too. So also there is a hard limit of the number of tiles that the navigation system supports in Unreal. So it can't be infinite with the default setup at all. So this is how you enable navigation. So if you go here and select this WorldStreamingManager, now here you have this new option under navigation, enable navigation. Once you do that, the system will automatically spawn all the things that is required for navigation to work, and then whatever the character that you want to use navigation should have this navigation invoker component added. So that character will generate NavMesh around the area the character is spawned dynamically. And in order to work this, you need to enable auto create navigation data and generate navigation only around navigation invokers. You need to enable that too. And also there is this runtime generation. I think that is under navigation mesh. Yeah, see, this runtime generation. This has to set dynamic. This wouldn't work with the static. So you need to enable that in your project. And then to spawn characters, I have used these spawners that we have already set up. Here, spawner. I'm using this spawner. Here I use this NPC actor class, which is this one. Here I have a very simple loop that just make the character randomly move around the world using this navigation data. So, and based on these settings that I have defined here, it automatically spawns characters as I move around. But I have made intentionally made the probability of spawning characters small, so that's why we don't see them everywhere, because it may not be just this character. You might need to have a large, like many other types of characters, animals as well. Oh yeah, see, but they are spawning dynamically. And if you leave this area to a place that this world chunk is no longer needed based on your distance settings in the WorldStreamingManager, this character and this world chunk, as this world chunk is unloaded, the character will also be unloaded. But also we have a system to save and load the state of spawned actors. For example, if you kill one of these characters, that will be saved and they will not be spawned again. That was already there before this update. So yeah, that's pretty much all. Oh yeah, so we have the NavMeshBoundsVolume that follows the player. So we only have the NavMeshBoundsVolume around the player. So only when the player goes to certain place, the navigation will be generated. And if you spawn, based on your logic, any character beyond the NavMesh area of the NavMeshBounds area, they will temporarily will not have navigation mesh around them, but as the player goes to them, they will have. So you can fine tune these parameters according to your needs, of course. So yeah, if you are not familiar with Nav Invokers, what they're doing is they unlike the static nav mesh generation, Nav Invokers generate navigation mesh only around them on demand. So NavMesh is not generated for the whole world at once, which is the usual solution for open world games, depending on the size of the world. So yeah, this is how it all works. In the begin player world, Gen spawns NavMeshBoundsVolume, and it is following the player. And of course, and yeah, it does not generate NavMesh beyond the sea level. It's below the sea level. It's only above the sea level. And as the player moves, it follows the NavMeshBoundsVolume and repositions to the new chunk center. Yeah, and when AI characters are spawned, when they have the navigation invoker, they will generate navigation around them. So that's all you need to do. And yeah, WorldGen is already available in Fab. I'll leave the link in description, and also it is available in my Patreon page as well. So feel free to check it out. I'll leave the link to everything in description below. And let me know if you have any questions in the comments. See you in the next episode. Goodbye.